Okay, we'll call to order our PROST meeting for June 1st, 2026. We'll start with a roll call. John Evans.
Laura Malcolm.
Sarah Brown.
Joe Burke.
Jesse Ripper.
Rebecca Daly.
Billy Cooks.
Yeah. Do we have any public online?
I do not see anybody.
Yes, we called to order at 6:28. Sorry about that. So then we will move on to action items. Wellington Community Park Veterans Garden. Discussion and funding opportunities.
Sorry, guys, Mike's almost done, but we got kind of crazy there for a second, so he's trying to wrap that up.
But you also said that what is that you guys have a kind of an idea, you think, about loosely about what you think it'll cost?
You know, I'm guessing with some of the people, like if we get the town staff to do their town crews to, do some of the installs, and then also with some in-kind donations, maybe we can get it closer to that 100,000, I'm guessing, I'm hoping.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Do we have, I think our first thing we wanted to try and roll out was the sign, right? So are we still waiting on Mike for a rendering on that before we can move forward?
It would be, in my opinion, it'd be great to have that, and then we'll just
Okay.
take that, put it up there and get it made.
Okay, from the guys in town. Okay.
And the goal would be that we have that installed by July 4th. Is that what we had talked about as a possibility?
Oh, yeah. I think
Okay.
we wanted it up there for 4th of July.
Okay.
Have y'all ever seen when they're doing like a massive fundraising thing, particularly for, like, I see it a lot in the Poudre Canyon for firefighters, they put like a thermometer and it shows that might also be nice to throw up somewhere around that as well. Be like, hey, if you scan this, is what all, and it'll bring you to the project or whatever, and then the donation thing.
They're not expensive.
Not expensive to do that.
Yeah.
Maybe if you just spray paint it red, keep going up with it.
Yeah, I'd love to see something visual like that. I think the next big thing for me when we talk about like, yeah, we want to get the tiers out, but we also want to make sure that our messaging is really clear and our illustrations are really clear. So an updated town web page with updated renderings and information on that, I think is also a priority. And then I also wanted some clarification too, when we talk about donations and raising funds. Are we looking to guide all of our donations through the town of Wellington and Friends of Wellington supports that? Or is Friends of Wellington going to also do its own fundraising portion? Do you know what I mean? Like, where are the funds being tunneled? I think that that's an
Yeah.
important conversation we need to have before we even get into.
So as a town, as a government entity, all we can do is take donations,
Mhm.
right? So if people are looking to donate, it's all set up on our recreation site. They can come give a check. It goes straight into that fund. It can't be used for anything else. It
Mhm.
goes directly there. So like it's easy for us to say, I would direct all donations towards that if you just kind of meet someone who wants to come into the office and drop that off. Now, Friends of Wellington, that's a totally different cause. And
Mhm. The only thing I would say about that is that if we want people to be able to make tax deductible donations, then we want to route them through Friends of Wellington for that. And so maybe that's,
we
no?
have, we can, yeah, for
Okay.
donations, we can, yeah, sponsorships and donations, we have the ability to give them a tax write-off as well.
Oh, okay, then never mind.
We have that form.
In terms of that, like for donations for you, like, okay, here's the larger set of the park, but when we're talking about like tiered things, if someone, they can't give you money and then you say, okay, now here's a bench dedicated to you. Can you, right? Or can you do that? Would we have to do like the tiered donation system through Friends of Wellington?
I think that's what we have to decide here. I mean, I think like if the town takes a donation, we can set that level. I think what we talked about last time, if I'm not mistaken, is not necessarily saying you get a bench. It's like, here's a plaque and here's like the the star donors and here's the platinum donors or whatever we want to call the tiers, and each one will have like a different name on the plaque. Now, if someone wants to you know, that's what we have to figure out, right?
Yeah.
I think that's the big thing. I don't wanna put any labels or, any ideas out there that we haven't fully flushed out and discussed, and I would love this to be that conversation. How do we want this to look? Like, personally, I think when any sort of like donation, or if it, and I'm not gonna make any suggestion, but like for Friends of Wellington, like fundraising, like the simpler it is, the easier it is to get involved into. So if we have donations for a bench and donations for a flagpole and donations for a flag and donations for a brick and donation, it's just like, it's overwhelming, right? And we're not, in my opinion, we're not trying to do that. We kind of went from that to, here's a plaque. It's easy. Boom, you're at 500, 1,000, $20,000, who knows?
Yeah.
Then you're like the star sponsor. Maybe we'll get you your own plaque or whatever we want to try to do with this. But the more we try to parcel it out into all these little things, the harder it's going to be to kind of not just keep track, but also get people invested into the overall project.
Yeah, usually the way it works is you have a goal of each level sponsor, right? And it's just like any kind of group funding thing. At this level, the perk of donating at that level is you get a flagpole. So like you are a platinum level sponsor, all the platinum level sponsors have a flagpole with their name on it. All the gold level sponsors have a bench.
Right.
All of the silver level sponsors have a tree. These people should be lower actually. So like just put those 5 categories and then you make the total
Yeah.
amount based on the dollars that you need to make, right? And then have the number of those sponsorships as needed as you're working through that as the number of those sponsorships that you're looking for.
See,
So-
Yep.
I like
So this,
that.
yeah,
I think there also needs to be just a monetary donation. So
Yeah,
like
yeah,
people
yeah.
for the town, I want to donate $20 and like,
Oh,
so
yeah.
there's a monetary, but then there's the tiered, it's like
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
something.
You put that in the,
Yeah,
that's
I
in that
sent out a
PowerPoint.
yeah,
Yeah.
there's 2 different options there. I mean, again, there's a lot of different ways to do that, but I think to keep it simple where people know, like if I donate $1,000, like my name or my company or whatever that goes towards this, I think keeping it simple again.
and I think,
it's simple but tangible.
I would say whatever under the level of the lowest sponsor on, you get a tree or you get, planter box
Yeah.
named after you, whatever it looks like. I think
There's
anything
more
lower
to
than
it.
that, we would probably just say like, if you would like to make a donation under this level, please visit this QR code, which takes them to our
Yes.
website, and then they can just drop 20, 15, 3, 100 or whatever dollars into it. That says like, thank you, we appreciate that.
Yeah.
And then we can say like there were, 300 donations under $100. So thank you to the general public for that, or something like that,
Yeah.
wherever we come up with.
Or it could be like every $100 sponsor gets a flag. Cause
Yeah.
flags cost what, $4 or something like that. And you can, be like, here's your flag. This is what it's at your own house, but that's what.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then any other just free donations, accepting donations at any time, I think is a good idea too. But we were trying to fill a certain number of check boxes, like we have this many to make sure we get the funding balance. That's how I would do it, but let me look at the one that you sent out.
It's the last line of that.
I was gonna say, that gave me an idea for like future benefit stuff. It's like for Memorial Day over at Spring Creek Park, they did a bunch of flags
Mhm.
everywhere. So you could do it for like all the veterans that are in here, like people who want to donate money for that.
Mhm.
All the little flags
Yep.
like, lining the spot.
Meridian
I love
also does
Yeah.
the flags for heroes.
Yep.
Where
Yeah.
people can submit a name and then they put them up with their names on them.
Do you remember when they did it in the park over here too for 4th of July one year? They filled the whole park with flags. And they all were sponsored by someone. So it was a 1-day flag event, but that was kind of the same kind of thing, but
Cool.
another event opportunity.
So write that down, and I don't want to waylay this conversation too much, but it kind of wraps into it because Joe brought this up.
Mhm.
So I went down to Spring Canyon Community Park because that was the first ever showing of that Liberty 250 exhibit.
Yeah.
And I talked with like the entire crew, And they were super excited about coming up to Wellington potentially for Labor Day. So it would be the market on the 7th into the morning of the 8th. For them, they would just come up and do it because that's what they try to promote. For the town, it would incorporate a fee for overnight security. And I've worked with LCSO's off-duty coordinator, and the quote for 8 p.m. till 7 a.m. was like roughly $1,100 to get an officer just to sit here and make sure that it doesn't get vandalized. With preliminary internal conversations, one, I think that outside of what we're doing here, is beneficial for the town to have over Labor Day, because it's not, it's something that you only get a chance to do every once in a while. So I think it's amazing. It benefits the market because it's going to be there. It's going to be there the next day. So hopefully it would benefit people coming here and going downtown afterwards or staying downtown. But also it gives us as a group an opportunity to fundraise there, do something like a flag drop. So I kind of wanted to talk to this group preliminarily of like, it is at a Main Street event. But I've kind of been working on it, and it would go a little bit towards helping us meet some of these goals, especially if we have all of our marketing out and a good solid plan. Just a little bit of direction on if you want me to move forward. I think we have the recreation programming, which it's definitely a recreation program, to bring someone in to help bring people to our parks, and we use that budget line for, balloon artists at the 4th of July and all that kind of stuff, that we bring someone from the outside in to help build community. Is that something you want me to continue looking forward to?
Are you suggesting for Labor Day or Veterans Day or?
Labor Day.
So
They're
Labor
already
Day.
booked for Veterans Day. It'd be Labor Day. So it's it'd be Friday, September 7th into September 8th.
That is perfect. That'd be nice.
Yes. And did you go see it? It is
It was
really
gorgeous.
cool.
It was really
But
good.
It
it's
is
hard
outstanding.
Yeah.
Um,
Eli was nominated for his little poetry.
yeah, so was Bennett. That's why we were there. Yeah.
Big
Really
Leagues
cool.
medal.
I think they are 5x8, I want to say. And there's 3 of them in a triangle, and there's 15 total. So there's 5 big triangles, and it just goes throughout the history. And I'll resend that out to everybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
To show you all the schematics and everything. But
It was really cool.
it is really cool.
The
and
whole
I-
setup was really nice.
I don't know what we'll get, but they have people dressed up as different characters and stuff like that. I don't know if that's full traveling. But if you're okay with me moving forward, internally, we all talked about it a little bit and thought that it was a really good opportunity for the town in general.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Not even is it just cool to have it, but like for
Why?
educational purposes and historical purposes, I think it's really important to remember history.
And there were different stations you could walk.
So I would always vote yes to that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a really important thing for our community to bring here. And if that's what our recreation programming goes to, like come to the park and feel the history of where we've been.
Yeah.
I agree with you, Joe. I'm invested into what it is. What we can make it as far as this team goes for, moving into the Veterans Garden. And I did mention that to them, and they were super stoked. So having them on board with that is a very good advocate for funding as well. So
I believe Jenny and David Brown helped with that too, and they're the ones who did the global war on terror wall that came in, the traveling wall that came in, so they're
Yeah.
pretty connected
Yeah.
with that too.
Okay. Well, then I'll end my little talk there and continue to pursue getting that contract settled with LCSO and see if we can get them up here.
Okay,
Nice.
Awesome.
cool.
I'll guard it for 500.
Do you
Unpaid, buddy.
Oh, you're right.
guys wanna offer a naming sponsorship level, like? Xfinity wants to come in and say they want to name the garden and donate $50,000.
Right.
Is that
I
something
didn't
that?
have a chance to get it in the
I think we
packet,
should.
so I don't know if I.
And pull it up.
I'm sorry. I didn't fully hear what you're saying.
Oh, sorry, I was taking a different thing. Will you guys be interested in a naming sponsor? So like if Xfinity, like that would be someone I would pursue very hard, actually. Would, if you would say, would you like to name your garden? So Xfinity, however, with whatever they would want to name it, Memorial Gardens. As like a big boy sponsorship, like $50,000 or something like that.
Xfinity's, Lowe's, Home Depot, some, are you talking
Or
something
the
like that?
T-Mobile,
The
hometown,
T-Mobile, yeah.
something like that. Or something brought to you by something like that.
Like it's on the sign, Xfinity's veterans
The naming rights would be up to however you would determine, but you don't want to determine that now, to say, would you like, it could be. Veterans Gardens at Wellington Community Park brought to you by Xfinity or something like that, like an actual naming
Yeah.
of the whole gardens for a big sponsorship, because that would be pretty much like the T-Mobile grant we're looking at for $50,000, or if Xfinity wanted to do that, or some other major thing.
Chuck usually have.
It's just a tough one to swallow when you throw a big title name on a veterans garden, and it's like we were trying to keep this kind of grassroots and
Yeah.
I know we're still having problems getting that fundraising going, but just Verizon.
No,
Verizon
that's a
behind
question,
it.
that's a question for like what you guys want it to be like, but it's
I
something to.
I understand where you're coming from
Yeah.
though, because that would be like probably the biggest donation we would get. It would be the biggest one.
Right.
Does it have to?
It doesn't have to be a naming, it doesn't have to
Yeah.
be naming, but I'm just saying that, do you guys wanna go after one big boy sponsor?
I do, but I'm not sure how I feel about that.
So, I mean, we maybe talk it out, like what
Yeah.
would you want to do?
Because you can set perimeters on like, hey, you're gonna donate that amount and you get this amount of say so and whatever. So like we could say there'll be a sign. It's not gonna be, the banner. It's not gonna be a big T-Mobile thing, but you could have, certain guidelines for what that would look like.
I just don't feel like we've really hit any sort of stride when it comes to trying to see what our community can do for this. Like
haven't done it
we've
yet.
not rolled anything out that has allowed our community to step forward. I would prefer to see if we can do that first.
Yeah.
And maybe that's backwards, but
I don't think it is.
I don't know. It doesn't appeal to me. I hate to say that because it leaves money on the table, but to me, I would much prefer to see our community and the surrounding communities really buy into something like this.
Well, the other thing it does for us too is if we can get the community involved and if we just hit brick wall at some point, but we have so much money already dedicated towards it, then you go after the big one, you go, hey, we just need your last donation and this thing's getting built now.
Right.
So it's not backwards by any means.
Okay.
But I do agree it's something we should consider,
Mhm.
because if we're
Still
just.
thinking big grants,
Yeah.
but not necessarily as a specific sponsorship level. Okay, cool. I wanted to get that conversation out there.
I think it's good. I think it's good to talk about it. Talk
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
Flag poles, are what, commercially 1,500 a piece,
Something like that.
right in there, right?
$2,000, give or take,
1,500
yeah.
to 2,000,
Yep.
right, for each of the flag poles, so that's gonna be like one of the bigger expenses, right? So we could have, flag poles and flags generously donated by whatever, right,
Mhm.
and it's still it'll be a nice chunk down.
So that level could be called flag. A
Yeah.
flag.
Mhm.
If
Yeah.
you're, cause usually they have a name that's thematic, so.
Yes.
I mean, we already have two people
For a
from
goal, that would be flag.
the Legion that are
Mhm.
pretty committed to benches or anything kind of major. I've got a third one that also is, so we just need to figure out the way to get those things rolled out.
Mhm. Mhm. Were you guys able to see the one that Jesse, cause I think this is the one that Jesse emailed to me is, I think it's a little, it like takes this, but it expands on it.
It's so thorough.
And I think,
Thank you.
I think that's something that we could easily work on, and we could, if there's a price point in there that becomes like the flag donation.
Yeah. I think identifying those top 10 things that we need and then aligning the price point to it or the tier makes sense to me. So like flags or flag poles, plaques, lighting. I mean, I know some of that's not like fun, fancy stuff, but
I think those though,
benches.
if we can get the other ones, some of the larger stuff, the flags and the benches, some of the like smaller things would come in as a more of a community support donation, I think, where they see that we're getting traction.
Yeah,
Mhm.
And that's where that would more come from. It's not, you're not gonna name a sprinkler head, but you know, we need them.
Right.
So.
Sure.
The flags are commercial donor, right, like in the benches are commercial, I don't know,
Just any kind of.
business.
Business or like middle. I mean, there's gonna be citizens that wanna donate
Mhm.
some of that.
Chunk.
$1,500 isn't gonna be something that we can't ask for. It's
Right.
a pretty easy ask. You start getting around the 5,000 and plus,
Mhm.
now we're looking at asking. some
Yeah,
services.
like the concrete.
Yeah,
I still think that we might be able to get the concrete donated. Or at least discounted fairly heavily, once we know pricing and space for that.
I mean, I,
I did talk to another guy about trees. And
No.
he said he.
no, you just reminded me of something. I've got two people to talk to about concrete.
Yeah.
Somebody that works for a concrete pumping company and then somebody who actually works for Loveland Ready Mix.
I have the Loveland Ready Mix too, and he already said that we just need to contact them with what we need. Now, he didn't say whether or not they'd be able to like donate the whole thing, but
Right.
you know, once we know what we need on that.
Are we able, sorry, stupid question, but it just hit me.
Nope.
Are we able to do both, like if, whatever we come up with, guys, right? Can we do Town of Wellington and Friends? Or are we talking about two different things?
Two different things.
Should be separate.
Just completely separate? We want the tiers to
This-
match.
I might be speaking out of turn here, but I don't think if the town is going to do the tiers and accept donations, I don't think Friends of Wellington is gonna roll out any sort of fundraising. What all
Yeah,
we'll
we'll
do is support what the town
yeah.
is doing and host a kickoff party and that sort of thing, but
yeah,
I
We would
don't,
try
I
to-
think it's too confusing if we have two things fundraising for
Yeah.
the same thing.
And we run into a lot of the issues on why that was even, why you guys even went out to create that is because of what happened with the CAC. And good division between, this is PROST board, this is town stuff, and this is Friends of Wellington helping. They're supporting the town, they're
Yeah.
supporting the PROST board. Supporting any projects you guys dive into, but it's that separation that we need, that way we're not biting off something.
Not getting fuzzy.
Tiers we're making would be put out like as town.
Through the
development,
town.
And then, yeah, Friends will support, okay.
yeah.
Mhm. I think Friends of Wellington is more along the lines of posting events to help fundraise, not necessarily doing any of the fundraising ourselves.
Yeah.
I think there was confusion about that at the beginning too. I even was like, why did we even form cause I thought that was why we needed to form it, was for the fundraising, and we've now decided that that's not a need.
Yeah.
So. I think
So yeah,
that's
anything
better.
we create in terms of tiers, I think goes through town and PROST.
And the town's happy to accept what we come. To a
So,
point,
I mean.
I mean, obviously with approval.
Go through with approval, but.
Great. So what's the next step? For getting costs and applying these tiers.
Do all of those tiers look reasonable to people? What Jesse kind of came up with? Do we need to hash those out at all?
I think.
You want a bigger one?
Okay.
Like why would I donate $10,000 when $2,000 gives me the same thing?
I think you could do a bigger one
Mhm.
for like the American flag, and then all the other ones
I think you really
would
could.
be level 2
Yeah,
kind of thing.
cause
Well, it
it,
should be one primary sponsor. What kind of benefits you give to that person is a different conversation altogether, but
yeah,
there should be like one primary potential. And that could be a family, right? It
Yeah,
doesn't have to
you
be-
call it a title sponsor, but do they
Yeah.
get a title?
Right.
That needs to be conversed, but.
Yeah, I
The
mean, they would be
general
on
thing
the
is a title.
plaque or whatever for
Yeah,
sure.
as the
but
title
what,
sponsor.
yeah,
I think it would be nice to have a larger one.
so how much do you think that should be?
Our top tier?
Top, the one top
Oh,
one.
does 50,000 sound
Doesn't,
out of range? I think
7,500 to 10,000, 50,000, that's a huge, I don't see why not, right? But
Yeah.
it's just such a big jump from 2,000 plus to 50,000.
For sure.
Well, but that Jesse has the
Yeah,
diamond
that-
supporter as 10,000 and above,
Oh, okay, you're right, you're right.
so,
There's just two different setups to the tier.
There are.
Oh, yeah.
One is
Yeah.
only, and one is
Yeah.
like, I don't know what we call those, physical.
Yeah,
So let's kind of like consolidate them in and
Mhm.
then the perks of each level, we can kind of maybe define later or just determine the numbers of them based on how many things that there are.
I was looking at the community supporter, the bronze supporter, the silver, then the gold,
Mhm.
platinum and diamond supporter were
That's
the
where I-
tiers that I was looking at.
Yeah.
So I think we could make our diamond supporter our
The
top
10,000?
tier. Oh, no, the diamond supporter, or
I say you
We
go
can change,
25,000
yeah, those
plus
were-
then.
I was gonna put the diamond supporter as the 50,000.
Okay, so
That's just an intimidating number.
yeah,
for me.
Joe is just a little concerned about how high. it
Okay.
is. So
So
Right.
20,000?
25.
Honestly, like, if you're gonna donate 50,000. I guess maybe not, right? If you look at it, and you see 50,000 plus and you're okay with donating 50,000, maybe it's not an intimidating number, but I think just like.
that's a good point. Always
You know
put
what I
a
mean?
plus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're 25K plus.
Yeah, let's say 25K plus, and that would be one of them.
And
But
platinum.
maybe putting it at that, like, takes away from someone donating $50,000. You know what I mean? If you put 25,000 plus, maybe they see that and they're like, oh,
I think we're missing out on an opportunity to
Yeah.
potentially bag someone.
Maybe you just put, potential for a title sponsor.
I think you put 50,000 and we make them our top. And if we don't get it, great, but if
Yeah.
we do, then guys, we're halfway there,
yeah,
right?
Okay,
because someone who's not,
I don't know.
thought of
I mean,
that.
And maybe I'm shooting over the top there, but
well, I also kind of agree with Billy where it's like, okay, if there is the possibility of the title donator. And I guess what I wanna go back and maybe just, amend what I said. It's not that I don't wanna see somebody's name up there. I just don't want like a big corporation name.
Yeah,
If like the T-Bar or somebody in town donated it, I have no problem putting that up there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And maybe that's hypocritical of me, but it's like, I like it that it's local.
well, it doesn't have to necessarily be title. It can just be that diamond.
Yeah.
And then we just make sure that they're getting what we feel like they need. And maybe it is a plaque.
Yeah.
But it's not the name, it's not on
Yeah.
the name, a part of it is just figuring out what goes in each tier and what we
Yeah.
feel like makes it worthwhile. And if it's, there's a plaque at by the, I don't know, probably not in the middle, we don't want to put it in the middle of the star, but we need to think about when we include those things in the tiers, where those are gonna be located in the
Yeah,
thing. I mean, I don't know, maybe
Yeah.
I'm being overzealous on that with the 50.
I think it's great. When we all go to these dinner things, and there's always somebody that stands up and I'm like, I'll do 50. And you're like,
good
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah.
I'm like, good for you.
I don't think I think we make it, it's a diamond.
And at the Chamber of Commerce dinners,
Yeah.
and they bid just the most obscene amount of money on the weirdest things. And it's like, okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, bid those pies
Those pop-
went for like $8,000 a piece. You remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, the food bank dinner, you should have seen that one.
Somebody did $25,000
Did.
at the food bank one.
So we have one diamond sponsorship available,
I think so.
one diamond. And then what are we just gonna go through numbers first and then come
Yeah.
back and fill
Yeah.
in what's?
Yeah.
How about that? Yeah, but the next level should be the number of branches. What's that? 6 or 5? 5?
6.
6.
Space Force.
Oh.
Don't forget. Space
Yeah,
Force.
jeez. So is that the platinum sponsor then?
So 6 of whatever this level is, which the 10,000 seems like what's the total amount to ballpark anywhere?
I thought it was 100. Right?
120.
120?
I would say 120.
So
That's kind of where we
10,000.
were like we were like the 90 to 100, and I would just say cost of everything
Go
in the
over.
last year. I would say around 110, 120.
But if we set the goal high, right?
Right, if
Okay.
they don't fill them all or something.
Yeah, and I feel like, I liked having the 200,000. Because then it just felt like, okay, they really need us to do this.
Right,
And then if we only raise, 100, oh, well, okay,
or if we get more, then you make it
Upkeep.
more bigger.
sure.
Well, yeah.
Oh, bigger.
What I would say is then that is perpetual into like any annual
sure,
Yeah,
maintenance.
foliage that we
Mhm.
have.
Yeah,
all
or
that
tree
kind of
loss
stuff.
or anything like that.
20% tree loss and plant loss is almost a guarantee.
Yeah.
That might not be a bad idea to.
Is that a
Try
big
and
jump from
fundraise
50 to
for it.
10?
Well, yeah, platinum
It's
should
supposed to
be,
be.
it should be.
Yeah.
Okay,
I think that's
What was the American flag though?
50.
That's the
50,000,
That, yeah, so we need one for that as well.
or maybe that is
I
the,
thought
That it would be
the-
a diamond and then it would be like the flag and a plaque or something,
Yeah,
but.
I think
Oh,
that's kind of how I was thinking of it.
Okay.
like their own flag or like,
No,
Well,
they
the
sponsored-
American flag.
okay.
Yeah.
The biggest.
Yeah,
flag, okay.
in the star.
Donate 50.
So maybe we should call that our flag supporter. I don't know. We can come back to that.
How many benches? I'm just thinking of the major things.
So
There's
10,000 were,
6, 3 on each.
I'm just randomly putting these diamond,
gold.
although we would have to kind of like have some thematic names. I know you have some up here that are kind of cool.
Benches were-
Legacy circle, those kind of things.
Yeah.
What?
Or any
On
garden
the
themed
bench.
ones like seed.
Oh, I like
Right,
those.
commercially,
Yeah.
Oh,
Um,
need to get a bench.
so let's say 6 at the next level, which right now you have 2,000 to
The
5,000.
bench is 20, like in this
We'll do
case, it's
maybe
25 for the donation.
Yeah.
No, I mean, just talking like.
The 10,000 were the flags, right?
Yeah.
Flag poles.
Something.
I do like the idea of taking away the ranges and just making it set amount, because then it's like,
Okay.
this is what you're getting, this is all you needed, like you were saying,
Yeah.
25,000 plus?
Yeah.
I'm just doing 25,000,
Yeah.
50,000, this
Yeah.
is what we're asking for.
Yep.
So,
Well, then it also, then you don't have people who are like donating the bottom end of the range and still getting the same amount as someone on the top end of
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
range too.
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay,
and then,
silver. 25K
We went from
So platinum-
50
to
10 to 5. I would go 25.
yeah. What do we have in that for, like, we got benches and
Bench.
flags and the other ones, what do we
You get a
got?
plaque on a bench
Plaque?
for 2,500, right?
Or the people who are donating the benches, getting the plaques on the benches.
yeah, that's what I.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, like, for
I think that's-
2,500, if you're in that.
We
Where-
put,
where do
we
we
put
get
5,000 for
5,000?
benches.
Yeah.
Where do we feel like just cost wise, the monuments compared to like the bench costs or the flag costs? Cause we can throw that in as one of our donations too,
That's
it's the
all the
monument.
monuments, yeah, for.
So we just need to
if we're
figure out
doing
which ones. You think the monuments should?
Well, because we
We
have
have the monuments that have people's names on them.
The ones with
For the
different.
branches?
branches, no, they're the ones with the, yeah, with the, they're gonna be.
I feel like the monument should just be the people with the people's names.
Yeah, I don't want donation. I don't want people who donated names on those.
But there are the screens, those are really prominent.
Mm,
I think if we're having people who have passed or served on
I'm not
those
saying-
memorials,
I'm not saying that just that name would go, I'm saying that somebody that donated
they're funding
would,
that.
they would fund for that. I'm not necessarily saying that we put a special name on there, but. I know that somebody who has a veteran that passed that maybe was in, the army and they put the plaque up and there's just the first name.
Yeah.
But they're not the only one, for
Mhm.
sure.
Mhm.
What do we think the price for, like the cost for those would be?
That's kind of what I was
For the
asking.
monument itself or for the,
The whole thing, cause I think we'd want someone to donate for the whole thing,
each
right?
one is what? Oh.
Well, the guy from the American Legion is gonna cut it out, right? Is that what the ones we're talking about for each? And then they're gonna be uplit? Are those the ones that we're talking about?
Mhm.
Wait,
Right, and it's gonna be scenery?
Backlit,
no, not the ones on the back.
No.
I'm talking about the ones
they have,
that are on
This says
the
Navy,
monument.
Oh,
that
yeah.
have the Names on
Air
them.
Force.
why don't we do the metal screens instead?
Okay,
Instead of doing the memorial plaques, why don't we do the
Okay.
metal screens?
See, that's what,
instead?
sorry, that's what I was thinking.
Okay.
I'd say move
We were
that.
talking
Not the ones that are inset,
most of
the
the
ones that have the.
yeah.
And how
Yeah,
many are
the
those?
Lighting in the concrete
Yeah.
that shows up to the flag that
How many
backlights it.
screens are there?
The screen, thank you. I couldn't think of what that was.
There would be 6, so 5 of them in between each, is that right?
Mhm.
Well, there's one in the middle, right? And then
Around the.
2 on each side.
Yeah.
So 5,
5.
because those can easily have a,
Those are very.
those can
easily-
easily have a
yeah.
plaque on them.
Yeah.
And that was
Yes.
5,000, and you move benches to 25?
Yeah, cause I feel like that's more attainable for
I
someone who wants to
agree.
do a bench.
Yep.
And then how many benches are there?
6.
6.
And then I think we wanna go after that, why not trees
Yeah.
as the next level? And we can easily just do like
a plaque or something back in the trees that lists the name of people who have donated trees.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Don't you think?
Yeah.
that'd be.
I would go 1,000 on
Yeah.
that.
Typical,
1,000 is a great amount for
Yeah, it
trees.
is.
typical.
I would like that. I like that idea too, because you can't just put the plaques in the
You could
flood
do many-
zone
many
back
trees.
there, so it might be nice to have it in the
Yeah.
forefront, like, thank you to our donors who donated these
Mhm.
trees.
And then I think the rest can just be kind of a general fund.
For everything. that-
Yeah. I like the
It's called
community.
The garden
community
builder.
support.
Yeah.
I'd say 20 for,
The rules.
Just as long as it's above ground or.
So that gives us how many tiers? One,
They didn't have it.
50 would just be the.
Get one. I'll follow up.
Okay.
100 feet.
Did we say?
Yeah.
Well, sometimes they're like, it has to be in a.
this is 150.
5
and
by
then
5, and you're
plus
like.
trees.
I think that's great.
Yeah,
We get
Okay.
that.
for sure.
I think that's perfect.
I think we're getting there.
And then, name all these things, something fun,
You guys-
garden related.
I like
This one has to do with trees, that's good. This one to do with.
Yeah, it's all gonna.
I like
be
your,
subsurface.
levels on
I
the
like
top, the, like,
Thank you.
contribute and all that.
Yeah.
Just like a reflection sponsor.
Yeah,
We're gonna wanna stay away
Legacy
from Gold
symbol.
Star though.
Yeah.
We're not gonna wanna use Gold Star for our
Yeah.
top tier. I think reflection sponsor.
For like benches would be good.
Well, the garden builder for the trees, right?
Garden builder.
That was
Living tribute for. the-
Yeah, living tribute.
living tribute.
Yeah.
The trees are
The
already there.
trees. Okay.
was it
We-
called an arboretum?
Yeah.
You could even find a big sponsor. And maybe that's where you could take your Xfinity name and you could make it like the Xfinity's Arboretum. And like throw the, if you're really looking to find a big name sponsor, so that way it's, it's still the Veterans Memorial Garden, but behind it would be Xfinity's Arboretum. Something
Oh,
like
that's
along the lines
cool.
of that. So that way, like, it's there and they know it's there, say
Mhm.
like, but.
I
but
like
then it
that.
takes away the other.
I like the people being able to purchase trees.
Yeah, me too. I
For
was
that.
just throwing out a different
I think that's
idea
a-
if you wanted a big money sponsor to come in
Yeah.
and they want it
We need a
directly on the
Money
name.
sponsor for our amphitheater.
You might want to save it for that.
Mishawaka.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay, so for the poll,
Junior.
freedom, the freedom sponsor, the freedom level, something like that.
I like legacy for that one too. Just
For the flags.
For the flag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
Flags, legacy.
Mm-hmm. And then I think the reflection sponsor for the bench is a good one.
Like that too.
That is.
Yeah.
And
I don't know about screens, freedom, that would be.
For the living, did you already use living tribute?
Yeah, I think
trees?
the screens is perfect. Freedom would be
Freedom,
perfect for the
yeah.
screens.
Yeah.
What? Just freedom.
Yeah, because they
Freedom feature, yes.
Yeah.
depict.
How about just one word?
Yeah.
Freedom,
Oh.
reflection,
Okay,
Okay.
living
like it.
tribute. I think that one makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, I need platinum and diamond. Heritage is a good word.
Mhm.
Guardian.
I could see Guardian going for the top.
Yeah.
Very.
That's a good one.
For the American flag.
Mm-hmm. And then we just need one for what, the
Flag, or the flags.
flags?
Wait, did we do, oh, we did freedom, reflection,
Guardian?
guardian.
Did we say legacy for
No,
let's do
legacy.
Yeah.
flags?
Okay.
I think that's,
So we have top is guardian, legacy, freedom, reflection, living tribute.
Love it.
Mhm.
Love it.
We could just make it tribute instead of living if we wanted to, or if we leave it 2 words.
I do like living because it
Yeah.
does signify the trees and the
Okay.
Yeah.
continued growth.
Mhm.
And that's the one that we don't have like a set amount of things.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Or
The
to-
more that we get in that, then we can apply that to like
The
the flower
rebirth.
beds and, some of the upkeep and.
Yeah, and then anything under 1,000, or we're not gonna do
We should do
like
something.
a
under
500 too.
Well, can we do, what about, so the trees make me think of like a rebirth almost, where plants come back to life, like they die off and then it's kind of reborn, or maybe we do reborn as our lower. Or something community focused. 'Cause-
Seed, how about that? Cause it's everybody, if anybody's contributing money, that's not necessarily, it's a garden contributing seeds,
Seedlings,
Germinator.
seedlings.
sprouts,
Seed
seed.
of service, seed.
I like seed of service. Because you did living tribute for the
Yeah.
trees, so let's do the next one down.
The seed of service,
Seed
kind
of
of is double.
And is that 500 or
Yeah.
below, or just
Seed
500?
money,
Anything under a
and
thousand.
growth.
That's,
Well,
Be a rapper.
I-
but not
I know.
everybody gets to have their name.
Yeah.
No, that's straight 500.
500.
Straight 500, and then anything below that can just be a community,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
What
our
we
general
call
fund
that.
essentially.
Yeah, we should still say something about that though. 500 or, you know, 499 and below, whatever you want to donate, is still
Cause we don't wanna rule out some of those smaller donations either.
I would like to have, if we can, if people are open to it, like when they donate, offer their name or their company name, and like we put that on the website. We put everybody who wants to be recognized on the website.
Mhm.
I say everybody who's seed of service and above gets recognized. Anybody else can give money at any given time, especially for event type things, like that's when you get the smaller donations
Yeah.
or something like that.
$10, $20,
Yeah.
$100.
It's still nice to recognize those people
Yeah.
who are like, I can only give 10 bucks, but this is something I really care about right now. Maybe
Yeah.
I'll be able to donate more later. I still think we wanna be able to, and maybe those are just community supporters. Maybe
Yeah.
it's just as simple as that.
And that could be a social media thing too, like
Yeah.
that, it doesn't necessarily have to be on a plaque with
Yes.
Mhm.
the entire town listed on it,
But
which
I
would,
thi-
that would be
but I
pretty
also
cool
think it would be
though.
neat to have that on on the Facebook or
Like
website.
Facebook or website,
Yeah.
definitely not the plaques though.
No,
You got-
no, I
definitely-
Yeah.
But recognition,
Mhm.
because like you said, there's gonna be some people that just can't do anymore,
Mhm.
but they wanna be involved.
Yeah.
People's names.
Yeah, I mean, anybody that's donated monetarily through Amelia already, we have that donation.
Which would also be a cool way to recognize people who have already donated when we start to roll out our fundraising, to say like, we know that this has been something that's been talked about for a while and we're really grateful for those, and it can be like a rolling roll call
Yeah.
of just like,
Ticker, you know.
The only thing I would say with that is some people don't want that
Right,
to be
Yeah.
out there, so we would have to,
we have to make sure people
we
have
have
opted
to make
in.
sure that they want that recognition.
Yeah.
Cause obviously if we're saying you're gonna be on a plaque if you donate $500 or more.
Well, there's
they
obviously an
know
op-
that, right? So they're buying into
Well,
that.
they-
We may have people who say they wanna be anonymous, we
Yeah,
may have
that's
anonymous
fine too.
sponsors, and so we just
That's
need to
totally
make sure when
fine.
we roll stuff out that there's an option to
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
stay anonymous.
Yeah, some people might donate like the flag and instead they'll just put a quote,
right,
you know, because they don't want themselves to be recognized
Sure.
like that, or
Oh,
they'll
I
put
think a
like
great option.
my grandfather.
Mhm.
We did this at our flag memorial in Illinois. We bought him a bench, memorialized him at that bench,
Well,
and just
100%.
put his
Mhm.
name, so. Some people just wanna do stuff like
Love
that.
that.
Yeah, I
Yep.
like that too. That's a great start on those. So then, do we have specifically, and we can kind of use what Jesse had laid out, like,
Yeah, I can
You know,
rebuild that.
what are the like thank you email? Recognition on town page and Facebook group. I mean, we just need to kind of look then at what are those. What they're specifically receiving
Yeah.
for each level.
Well, we do have the Parks and Recreation Instagram specific now,
It'd be a
As
perfect
well.
place to do that.
Mhm.
so.
Could we do like a mass send out? I guess then you'd have to get addresses, but I guess you could do like a postcard send out. The 4th of July and do, or you could do something like, hey, if you donate on this amount of money or this little amount, we can come by and put a flag outside of your house. Like
oh, that would be a great event.
in the front yard. You know, for like if you donate $20 for Veterans Day, we can come by and put a flag outside of your house and it'll just stick up in your front yard.
Love that idea.
Mhm.
I love, yeah.
And that's the kind of stuff Girl Scouts and like all those kids in the.
Yeah.
Your volunteers
Kiwanis
for that.
Club.
Yes,
Mhm.
That might be an easy way to like really kick it off for low amounts too.
that'd be something great to get ready, like, since we're trying to get everything squared away for 4th of July. And 4th of July is on a Saturday, but it's the summer, so try to get volunteers to do that the week leading up,
Mhm.
you know. Second third.
Cause that'll get the other neighbors asking too, like, hey, why do you have that in your yard? Like, does that signify something special? And they'll be like, hey, I donated to this, so they came by and did that.
Yeah.
Gotta
That's a
figure out
great
how that would work,
Mhm.
right?
That's
far as-
more nonprofit stuff. To be honest, that's more
Yeah, I'm
on the
just saying that
side,
wouldn't
those
be
kind
on
of things, yeah.
our
But
side.
Well, it makes me wonder if we could do something around, like, to give us a little more time, like something around Veterans Day,
Yeah.
where there's like a special, like, hey, from August through October, this date to this date, if you contribute to our Veterans Garden Fund, this is something we will do for a veteran of your choosing or for your family, for Veterans Day. And then we could even look at having like little yard signs made or something that goes along with it.
I mean, we have the 4th of July, we have Labor Day, and then Veterans Day. I mean, that's really,
Like a sign or a flag, or flag on a sign.
I would say
I donated.
do both. I think you could just say thanks to, we can put together some sort of language on the sign and then they can send us the name
Okay.
when they submit. Well, we'll probably have to do a different donation form for that. Or we can have the donations and link them to another page. I don't know. I don't
that's
know
what,
exactly
yeah.
how we would do something like that.
Can town promote that though? So that's,
I think
feel like
that
we need some
that sort
momentum.
of run would be more along the lines of friends.
yeah.
yeah, and like, I was talking to Legion and they're like, well, we could, for one of their events for the years, they would split their proceeds for it, but towards this project and towards their regular funds, right? So it
Mhm.
could be like, for example, if they do a beer garden or something, they can say partial proceeds going towards this,
Mhm.
so.
They're already listed as doing, the Star Foundation just posted their September 5K, 10K with an Oktoberfest with the Legion. So we just need to figure out what it is exactly they're doing with that. I do think that, again, once we have tiers set up and everything ready to go, that they will push that, that's,
Yeah.
and maybe that's something we talk with them about that the Legion will do even for.
We also talked about going back to Legion first when we had these set up, that way we gave
Yeah.
the veterans here opportunities to be part of this.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
they'll definitely gonna be some of the first people to see it when we get it put together.
Yeah.
I've been talking to them a lot about that 5K, 10K, and it might be a good idea for us to volunteer to help
Mm,
set up in
Yeah.
a way where we let them kind of take the helm and we kind of see how they do it and what we like and don't like and still have it backed by us and we're still, help them in some ways and be like, hey, this is what maybe the funding could go to, or there could be a separate side of it, but might be really nice to kind of see how they do it and then run some, like use that in the future, be like, hey, this was something that worked really well and we could do that too, instead of being like, hey, now we're absolutely entwined with your idea,
Yeah, well, and pretty much they've straight up said to me, they're like, if you want us to help you plan a 5K, like, we'll help you with that too. If
Yeah,
you guys go volunteer for theirs, then I think they will turn around and return
Yeah.
a favor too, so. Cause they do have all their specific
So
applications and stuff that they
Right.
do already.
what I'm kind of thinking is, we've done this a lot where we kind of bounce around ideas and we never really stick on one. We need to get like a spreadsheet of the opportunity dates and then like dial in what potentials we can have and then flush out ideas because not everything is going to be flushed out in this meeting alone, right?
Yeah,
I think the big thing here is getting a good base for the tiers,
mhm,
getting an idea of what our opportunities are for getting the public engaged, and then, adding what it's gonna be, what we think we can take on, and then as we work towards those dates, making sure that they're solidified, so like 2 or 3 options for each, whether it's the flag idea that goes for Veterans Day, or whatever it looks like, just saying like, and then just picking one as we move forward and just saying, okay, now what do we need to get to that point where, 3 months out, 2 months out, then we open that up and that's just the one that we're doing.
Yeah.
And just set up, set in stone. So it's gotta be like a spreadsheet that just says like funding opportunities
Mhm.
dates, ideas. Keep it a living document, pick it.
Time to consolidate.
Yeah, time to consolidate, cut out what we can't this year. And then also on there, it's like, you know, maybe on that same page, it says grants. What are we looking for grants and all that kind of stuff too.
Yeah, it might also be kind of nice to dial in an idea of, you know, when the ground will break, what. And this is the project is theorized to be finished. They kind of have that idea for people as well.
I think that's gonna be probably not set up on dates, but more like goal.
Yeah.
That we hit in donation.
Right,
gas
right.
level.
Phase 1,
Right.
phase 2.
Or concrete.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we had talked about
Right.
wanting to have all of our like marketing and tiers and stuff ready to roll out July 4th.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the
So
goal,
that's what I'm saying.
so the-
Yes, that is huge.
so the
that
goal would
idea.
be that we have that ready to go, that we have the sign ready to go, and we can do a ribbon cutting at the sign
Mhm.
on July 4th while things are happening up at the park.
Right next to it.
And then we have maybe I don't know where the PROST tent's gonna be. There, I don't know if we wanna have our own separate tent by the Veterans Garden, or if it's just, hey, this is happening at this time, make sure you come see the PROST tent, this is where we're located with all the.
Right next to the rec tent, so like everybody's coming up to spin the wheel for a fidget toy after they've done, you know, kick the
Yeah.
ball in the circle.
Yeah,
You're right there where their parents are standing.
so my goal would be that we have our initial fundraising sign
Right.
with already listing how much we've already raised just from, you know, random contributions. And maybe somewhere along that line, well, we probably aren't gonna put names at this point,
No.
because it's been too hard to track up until this point, but. And then marketing materials, posters out with the renderings and the tiers ready to roll out, pamphlet.
QRs.
QR codes. I mean, I think that if we're gonna do that, I won't, well, actually, I will be here July 4th, so I can try and help with that. But, I think that would be my goal for a kickoff initial of that. And then, I think we have the Labor Day event here, right? With that, so we can have that material again. And then I'd like us to do a big kickoff party for it. And maybe that's the day that we do something special for people who donate that day. We've already talked with Tara down at OCB. They're more than willing to host and do something down there for Veterans Day and do like a kickoff party. We've talked about applying for the sponsorship through the town. So we have funds for that. And that would be a Friends of Wellington, hopefully joint with PROST and Legion. Obviously, I think it's important that the Legion be able to be present.
And potentially the Northern Colorado Veterans Group that
Yeah.
we can get them on board.
They'll probably have their own things for Veterans Day at the spring camp.
I'm just saying in general, just like
Oh, Yeah.
they're backing,
Mhm.
you know, when you're going to request funding, just having
Yeah.
the more people that sign letters.
Yeah, they'll probably be able to send out to their list too of people. Those are the top three
I think so too.
right now.
What about, we talked, last meeting about creating a website for this. I do think having online marketing is gonna be important, so.
Will the town do that?
There
'Cause-
already is,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
We have a page
There's a
dedicated to it, but we need it to be updated with new, but it can be.
Yeah, if you go to the
Absolutely.
Parks and Rec link on
Yeah,
there.
it's just all, yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Do we need to like supply the site copy for that, or can the town do that?
Supply the site
You know,
copy.
like all of this, all the tier stuff, who can do that and who updates it on the site?
Oh, whenever we get it settled, we can work on that internal marketing piece of it. I mean, that right there. Update all that.
I know you're writing notes, I'm just
That's
writing
okay,
it since
no,
I'm
that's-
typing it into. the
I like
thing.
that plaque image.
Yeah, it's really cool. Those cost money too, so none of those costs have really been considered in all of the estimates either, so like creating the actual plaques that dedicate things, so those are
Yeah.
probably gonna be more expensive than we think as well, so.
They're not cheap.
Yeah,
That's the thing too, it's really nice to have donations of stuff put in, but you gotta make sure it's quality stuff that's being
Yeah.
donated, you know, you
Yeah.
can't have someone be like, I can do the plaques for you, and then you bring them back, you're like, I don't know,
Yeah.
I want that.
So just so you guys know, an 8x8 is roughly like $700.
8x8 inches plaque, okay. What is that made out of, like bronze?
Same one that's right over on in the concrete on this memorial bench right here, or
Right.
memorialized bench out here. These days it's going for it's just like $695. So we would say, like, if someone wants a memorial bench in the parks system, $800 with labor to get it put on and everything like that. With an existing bench, and the benches are anywhere from $1,200 to $1,500 depending on what type of bench. I'll throw those things out there.
The benches that were donated or that came through the downtown grant, are those still available to be used?
Left today, in fact.
Oh. But we had talked about repurposing those, correct, for the,
Repurposing them potentially for this or potentially for. I mean, they're gonna sit there and they're approved to be used in the park system, so. I mean, if we want to reuse them in this situation,
How many do you have?
oh, I do not know.
more than 6, I think.
Yes, I think there's 16.
I mean, if for cost efficiency, right, that makes a lot of sense to.
And they're ADA
Reduce, reuse,
acceptable.
recycle.
Oh, absolutely, I don't disagree at all, and I think it's a great reuse of it, and I think the grant. That originally got them would, you know. It would be justified to use them in a space like this.
Mhm. With everything else going on for 4th of July, will the town be able
Gang, is that-
to design pamphlets and posters and things? Or does that need to be done somewhere else?
Yeah. I would say yes, under some circumstances. Unfortunately, Emma's not with us anymore, so she's our main marketing person. Within the Parks and Recreation Department, so. I won't make any promises for that, but. Like, as soon as we get stuff from Mike and we kind of dial this in, the faster we can do it. The sooner I can have answers for that, whether it can be internal or
Can we have
Sure.
answers in the next week?
potentially.
Because it's already
Well,
Yeah.
June 1st.
I just plugged them.
Only because I talked to Megan, I actually texted with her a little bit this weekend and she's willing to help with that and she's got the design background.
Yeah, we've
So,
outsourced with her.
Yeah, so I'm just wondering, especially if we're getting close, you know, it's June 1st already, July 4th is gonna be here before we know it. It'd be really nice to have that all done, printed, ready, so we know how we're laying it out. Mid-June, like in 2 weeks, which I know is also a crazy turnaround, and I don't wanna land something on Megan's plate last minute, cause she's super busy too, so I wanna be respectful of that as well.
Yeah, we also have to think of cost, right?
Well, I think we're hoping she donates.
Yes, that would be the goal, I can clarify that with her.
Well, if you would do that, that would be,
I think we have what we need for her at this moment,
Mhm.
like just say.
She just needs the information.
The levels and things
Pictures
and
Yeah.
dollars and stuff, so I think she has
Yeah.
enough that she could roll with it at this
Mhm.
point.
Mhm. And even if that means that her business logo goes on things, and that's how we promote her, then.
Well, there's a value to it, so if she said that the value of what service she provided was $500, she'd see some service.
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
So, as an
Absolutely.
example.
Yeah.
and or more depending.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay,
So-
I'll ask her.
Um,
She's also really great with website design, so I know that all has to source through the town for
Yeah.
that, okay. That's gonna be a big one though, to have that updated too.
yeah, just having her images on our website would be
Mhm.
a huge one.
We have printing capability, so if she designs how to print.
Well, it depends on what type of printing. I mean, if it's general flyers and paper that come from town media, then yes.
Her
But if
will also
it's,
donate usually.
Okay,
but if it's
Business
something
card factory.
more,
Yeah, But I would give her that direction too. We're not looking for a brochure. We're not
Mhm.
looking for a booklet. We're really just looking for poster flyer type things.
Yeah.
Then she won't design something that we can't pay to print. So.
Right.
Yeah.
So that.
Yeah.
I would like to have a pamphlet that has information about it, but maybe that's overkill.
Some of these smaller events, or at the bigger events, sorry. I was thinking maybe like some small stickers, you know, like when you vote and it says I voted. Could we do some stickers that say I donated and
I
I
love it.
contributed? So I'm super competitive. If I saw you winning, then I'd go throw my money in. I can have a
That's a
sticker,
great idea.
right?
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if we have it at like events, you
Yeah.
know, like
Yeah.
$5 or more, you get a sticker,
Yeah,
you know, whatever it is.
I'd want one.
Which
Like
makes
that
me
look.
think we need a logo for this project, which means that might be something to talk to Megan about. too.
Mhm. Yeah.
Like to have a logo and then supporter or something like that.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, cause I'd donate from Al Canyon if I sign in the window that said we
Yeah.
supported, if you guys gave us a sign for it.
Uh-huh.
And all the businesses would fill that, I mean, we don't have, no, you know, everybody down here doesn't have a ton of money, but like,
Right.
everybody's like super supportive that way, and if you have
Mhm.
something to stick on.
Well, and it's just another talking point too. It's
Yeah.
just more conversation, like, whoa, what is that for?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't bottleneck it. The more people that know, the better.
Other things to put on the event calendar though are all the Star Foundation events, all the Legion events. Some of those fall on the major holidays, but other ones don't, like the 5K, 4K.
Should we talk?
I think we should talk with them about that next week.
I was gonna say, maybe not even the Legion too, but Linda,
Yeah.
who runs that board.
Yeah.
She would probably be more than willing to come in and chat with us about the stuff that they do, because they're very veteran oriented.
I
That's
would-
what it's for.
Maybe we invite them to the next meeting, we talk about this project too. I just went to one of their board meetings and they do amazing work and they do feel sometimes left out because they're not downtown all the time.
Yeah.
So they get left out of a lot of projects. I think this would be a really great way to loop them in.
100%. And they've had years of experience working with this community in particular.
Yeah,
So we could get a lot of good insight from them.
yeah,
I'd like to invite Jenny and David too,
good,
Mhm.
so.
yeah.
Because Jenny has done a ton of work with grants and has done a ton of research. I mean, she's the one that's got the most updated lists for Gold Star families in Colorado, and
Yeah.
she does a ton of research on that.
Do you guys want to do a formal invite to these nonprofits?
I will do that right now.
Are we saying for the June 10th meeting or?
That's what I was hearing, but I'm not sure.
Do we have the contact information for Star Alliance? Their website?
I can just text them.
Okay.
Or, you know, what would probably mean more is if I gave you guys her number and if you guys reached out.
Yeah, if you want to send it over,
Yeah, okay.
I'll shoot her a text. I was talking to her about a run/walk club,
Oh, man.
because I had heard they've been walking quite a bit.
She usually walks in the morning, doesn't she? Yeah, I see her around my neighborhood. I worked with Linda a lot when we did the 0.5K.
Those kind of events, like those things would be awesome. Okay, Linda. So.
Also, I know we're a little bit off topic, but did you guys see that picture I sent of the signs they're putting up on the Fort Collins trails?
Yeah, I shared that too,
Yeah,
in one of our meetings after we talked about the ordinance for Ubex. Thank
I
you.
saw it and I was like, what a coincidence.
Yeah.
We were just talking about this.
Mhm.
'Cause I've been seeing same thing, and they've been doing like, it's not so much like a sting operation, but they've been setting up police. Or like kind of more of a security checkpoint. So kids or people, whoever, is ripping. That might be extra cost.
I know. I recommended our sheriff department to sit on the corner right here and stop all the little kids that run stop signs.
I think they're technically allowed to.
No. Not on a bike. You're still required to
It's a
stop.
yield sign when you're on a bike, if there's no one at this stop sign.
For 16 and under, they still stop.
Ah,
Yeah.
Yeah, there was just this like
I don't have
killed in Fort
powers.
Collins yesterday because they didn't stop at a stop sign, I think.
Well, it's yield sign until there's cars there. Unless that's a four-way intersection. Four-way stop, two-way stop, you gotta stop. Speak of the devil.
That's a full-on motorcycle gang right
Yeah, it
there.
was.
Are they in there?
I don't know. It's possible.
Yeah.
It's very possible.
I saw a whole gang out at McDonald's the other day.
Yes.
I was like, none of those even have pedals, those are straight up just dirt bikes.
So who all are we trying to?
Star
Legion,
Foundation.
and
And
I can't remember what they're called now.
isn't it Remembrance, Wall of Remembrance? Isn't that the
Yeah.
name of their actual?
I'm gonna
nonprofit?
look.
I think that's the name of it.
Cool.
I'm so sunburned right now.
Oh my gosh. Today,
Legend Star.
got fried.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and part of that maybe is just asking them to submit us like a actual list of their dates in which they need volunteers or where we could participate.
It's
Right.
the Global Wall on Terror Remembrance Foundation. GWOT
Fit
Remembrance
all that in the
Foundation.
box.
What is this?
I didn't realize the UV was gonna be so hot.
I'm just gonna leave this here.
Remembrance.
I'll build the agenda. Once we have everybody.
Okay, I think I have a list of to-dos. Can I go through them and then,
Yes.
okay. So Mike and Laura Lynn finalized the renderings. Once that's final, to Billy to have the sign built. Billy's also going to determine the town marketing support. Sarah is gonna connect with Megan Larson for design, for flyers and a logo. Rebecca is inviting the Legion to join our next meeting. And who's reaching out to Linda?
Can someone else do this?
Well-
They just hear from me a lot.
Yeah, that's.
It'll mean more if it comes from someone else.
Okay.
Yeah,
so,
or if you guys want to split out, you're in pretty good contact with the Legion, right?
Not really.
I know them really well.
Yeah, Joe's not better.
Okay.
I've known Daryl for a long time.
So Star, so Linda
Yeah.
and Daryl. I'm gonna work on the event spreadsheet, so I'll build that. So we've got a list of events and the opportunities that we want to tackle for each, and then I can work on the tier descriptions, but I think we've got that pretty well nailed down.
But I can hash that through with Megan
Okay,
too.
okay,
You can always see if she can come next Wednesday.
and I think that's all I have so far. Am I missing anything?
Timeline, 2 days, everybody,
I'm just kidding. Before you get home.
before, on my bike.
Is that allowed?
I don't know.
But-
Yeah.
Okay. And then we're gonna invite everyone to next week's meeting.
Good.
Okay,
Sounds like a productive.
Okay.
Okay, I think we made some really good progress today on that. That was a really good portion to get all the tiers and everything done. This is where we're gonna actually start being able to get out there and do things. So super excited about that. Good work, guys.
thanks. Agreed.
So if nobody else has anything on the veterans grounds, we'll move on to the community center unless there's people that need to get home because we have run late and we can table. Yeah.
I give it 2 seconds. There's not a ton of updates. Other than we should be getting renderings of the community center that will go into it very soon. The only other ask is that any high definition photos anybody has of overall town events, send them, because Barry Dunn's just looking for a huge catalog to make it look good in what they're trying to produce. The other thing is we're going to move forward with the July adoption, as we've kind of discussed. And that will come with a much shorter presentation, because the board is just they're like all on board with everything. They're ready to roll forward. And there'll be just kind of like an executive summary that Barry Dunn is going to make up in a cool page that can be absorbed very easily, page or two, by the public. And then the 50 to 70 pages behind it that won't even be discussed at that meeting. It'll just be like the very high level stuff, and kind of what we're looking for. So that's kind of where we're at right now. A lot of it's in their hands. They're asking me for little pieces here and there, but other than that, they're kind of rolling with their general concept of what's next to come for us. Yep.
Great.
If you want high definition photos, have them visit the Wellington Brewfest Facebook page or website. There's
Okay.
tons of photos on there.
Okay.
Have you guys talked to Brian
Graves.
Graves?
Oh yeah, all this stuff. I'm just saying whatever anybody else has. So we'll get everything that we have internally, but if anybody has some like cool pictures, because I know iPhones are pretty high def these days. So like if anybody has something really sweet that they wanted, like a random capture of kids at the splash pad or something like that, it's like, all right, cool.
That's fine. Cool, that's good.
Or movie, you guys have all volunteered for things already this season, so I don't know what you took,
And they're pretty all low quality videos
Nah.
of the movie, so from the background going like this.
Where do you just want those sent to your cell
Yeah,
phone?
just email me, and then we'll kind of sort through what
That's
legally
asking
we
for
can
a lot.
ask them to. If you don't want to, that's fine, but we have a lot to go through, but it was just an ask from Barry Dunn. So they said reach out to all the people that you work with and all your volunteers. If they've caught anything cool, then we'll do it. I mean, it has to be at an event where we post as a town event, right? So that everybody knows that they could be used in a photo. So that's the only caveat there, but that's all I got.
Great.
The movie was nice the other day. It's always nice to cry in a public park when you're watching Up.
Dude, what a great
That
movie.
one's
Up
rough.
is so-
It is. Grace and I,
Thinking about
Grace
it
and I were
makes me
both
sick.
sobbing.
Up
We were
is
like,
so
oh my
good.
gosh.
But right at the begining too.
Yeah. Oh, and at the end, I want to read the
I
I
book.
don't think we even made it halfway. My mom was like, I'm gonna go home. You know.
We had so much fun.
It was good.
We had
A lot
so
of
much fun.
people.
There
Baby-
were
Billy.cooksey at, what's your email?
the CW
Sorry.
at wellingtoncolorado.gov.
What a mouth.
Oh my gosh, all spelled out. Every time I tell someone like it's all spelled out, they're like, all
Every other elected official is like, you put all of Colorado in it? And I was like, calm down, everybody knows how to spell it, it's fine.
No, it's too much.
I feel like they changed the format of the emails since last I remember.
It was like 4 or 5 years ago or something.
Okay.
Okay.
That's too
Look
much.
when we did our
Do you
website.
have any other announcements?
The only other thing, no specific announcements. I would just say with the Legion come in, maybe we'll have to have a conversation about where we're trying to get to, and if I know we really want to do the park visits, but it's really hard to do a park visit when we have
Mhm.
guests. So if we want to do guests and keep it very short, talk about obviously the community gardens and then do WCP, that might be an option afterwards since it's getting later. Just keep that in mind. Definitely not doing the east side and WCP. So I'll push off the east side. I'll find somewhere on the calendar, but just keep that in mind. And then anything else you want to see, if there's anything short or on the agenda. Obviously there'll be some master plan stuff when we get that back, but once I get any information, I will send that out to you guys. Just a real quick update about parks. I don't know if you guys have seen WCP. I told you about the disease we had.
Mhm.
We brought someone in to do deep tine aerating and fracturing,
I saw
and it's
that.
bouncing back very fast. So,
Yay.
yeah.
How's the the ramps, the dirt area.
BMX.
Yeah, that go on.
Use some love.
It could use some love, and something I'll put on the agenda for at some point is just like we really need to discuss, and I know this group is heavily involved with multiple other projects, but you know, we are working on an ordinance for just general bikes, e-bikes, motorbikes, motorized vehicles, what goes on trails, what doesn't. We're working internally with LCSO and the board and administration. We're, you know, kind of looking for ideas from other communities as well, but we're getting close, I believe, with the attorney to finalize what the verbiage of an ordinance should be. But I think the idea is, you know, our community very much values just being out in the open and cruising. So, you know, where we go with this as far as promoting a space, finding a space, you know, we haven't really even taken the time to dive deep into what liability would be if the town owned a portion of this and promoted it. Like there's a lot to think about with the overall idea. One thing I always want to keep true to my heart is transportation is mobility, and mobility is not the same from person to person. So just because some person might abuse or go outside of what an ordinance says doesn't mean that another person
Right.
can't use a piece of mobility in the legal way to get from point A to point B. They might not have another way to be able to do that, especially with our limited trail system and inability on the east to the west side and where our commerce is. So we have to keep that in mind, because it isn't just recreation, isn't just recreating, even though we think of a space for them to go recreate. That's a different side of the story than being able to get to school or get to a doctor appointment with a piece of equipment that is available to you and potentially ADA compliant for somebody. So there's a lot of compelling issues that go along with just saying like no to this or yes to that. It's like we have to think about that, and administration has said that, you know, like take it to your board, because a lot of the transportation comes through what we're working on in the master plan. So just keep that all in mind when we think about this, because it's transportation, it's recreation, it's safety, it's everything that we talk about all of the time. And I know you guys are very good at thinking about the, you know, the community picture for it, not just like one specific idea. So as we bring it up, or as it comes up, even in your conversations with the community, you know, then, you know, just think about it more than just the good old shake of the fist. It's like, how else, where else, what else, what can we do? How can we support? How can we educate? I think is the next big piece, and I didn't bring that up. I've already reached out to Safe Routes, and they're on board. And I'm gonna try to get Safe Routes Administration, LCSO, Parks and Rec, this board, maybe all of us together in a room at some point to say, how can we educate once this ordinance comes out? How can we support? How can we find funding for helmets and shoes and whatever is needed to make sure that they're safe and they know the rules that are being set in front of the community?
Do you talk to the Foco Fondo people at all?
Nope.
They just come through the town and don't say anything?
What?
Who's Foco Fondo?
Yeah, I
Oh.
don't even know who you're talking about.
It is the one of the top 3 most famous gravel bike races in Colorado.
Oh,
And it goes from New
Maybe I do
Belgium
know.
Brewing up around the east side of the interstate through 66 up to Buckeye to Red Feather and back.
Oh, yeah.
And they come right through town twice. And they do a ton. One of the rides in the race is a 12-mile ride for kids that's sponsored by Safe Rides. So that might be a cool, you know, this large
Maybe
group
I'm
of
just-
bikers
Sorry, go ahead.
who has a ton of other ideas, or maybe, you know, they have an actual footing and money behind it.
Maybe
Might
I'm
be
just
nice.
missing the name, because we go through events that come through, you know, all the events that
Yeah.
come through, and like Foco Fondo. But yeah,
Yeah, that might be a cool group to reach out to in terms of, you know,
Yeah.
what they think or what their perspective is, or
Yeah. then they should have a permit if they're coming through town. Anyways,
well, it's not through town, it's on 66.
They come
yeah, it's
through.
all Everett County.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That is
it
too
would be
bad.
nice if they would, and Owl Canyon Coffee tries to always like get all the
Come this
gravel
way.
bike groups to come into town.
Yeah,
That's why I didn't see that permit.
yeah,
Okay.
cause there,
Always.
yeah, there are a lot of people who stop in and they grab a beer right here, or they go to your guys' spots, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do we have any completes on?
Regarding the ordinance for e-bikes and those kind of things, we were asked, many people are asking us to ban this, ban that, ban this, and the board decided to not take that route. We passed the ordinance with a couple amendments that pretty much encouraged any e-bike users, especially children, to just be safe, follow the rules of the road, and to wear helmets, and to be courteous and respectful. It doesn't ban anything necessarily outside of don't ride your bike in areas not intended for bike riding. Like any kind of parks, public spaces, those kind of things, anything off of a street or trail. And then there's other things in it, but you'll note that the education communication, there's so much that needs to come out pretty soon, but I would encourage everybody to wear helmets, because that will likely be something that kids will be pulled over for in the future. What's that?
Are they having to register the bikes?
No,
Oh.
well, there was a recommendation for bike registration, but that's honestly just from my knowledge, we don't have the bandwidth to handle a registration process or administratively able to handle that. Plus, I'm a big fan of consequences, so if you don't lock your bike up and it gets stolen, then that's a consequence of not taking care of your property. I mean,
Someone saw it through my U-lock one time.
I hope that that's not the case that happens.
People are jerks.
Yeah, people are jerks. And then I'm also a big fan in that the board in general said that they want parents to be able to parent their kids, and they want kids to be good citizens and learn how to drive right, because they're gonna be our drivers in the future too. So that's the method that we took. We don't want to discourage kids from being out, and this why people love our town is kids are loose in the town all the time. So but to encourage people to learn about the new ordinance, it will go into effect some 30 days after we passed it, which was last week.
Is there a speed limit rule on the trails?
There is speed limits of the roads. I don't think there's anything specific to the trails that I know of. But there are state statutes that do indicate speed limit requirements for e-bikes and classes and age of riders. So defer to state statute for a lot of things. We're not trying to override that or
We
be
don't.
a distraction against state statutes, but we're also just trying to make courteous. I mean, just don't be a jerk, right?
Yeah.
Out there, have a great time, be active, don't be a jerk, be safe, keep other people safe. So that's kind of the method that we went for it. So, but it's very complicated, of course, in an ordinance. My hope is that we'll really simplify it, like as easy as to read on the sign, but just as Billy was saying, still working through all those methods and where that money comes from for new signage or whatever the case might be that's going to be required for all of this. So, but that's going to go into effect within a month. So, SROs are going to be talking to, well, supposedly we're talking to kids before that. There's going to be an effort to talk to kids before school starts again too, from the school perspective of partnership there. And then on the line of that too, the feedback from the board, I don't know if I told you guys this already, I give these updates a lot of times, sorry guys, but we gave just out of left field to Barry Dunn to add some kind of accommodations of what we can do to help with bikes, e-bikes and those kind of things, kind of like Berthoud's Bike Park, but that is not intended for e-bikes, and it is a right at your own risk kind of thing. And then also consideration of adding a library to the community center project. So that was the feedback that we provided. Those are my favorite ones. And there was other feedback too, but those are the ones that I kind of caught hold of that I thought you guys would be interested in. Otherwise, I'm available if you guys ever have questions or want to meet separately or anything. I spent a bunch of time with the Legion recently, so that was really great. And Star Foundation. I'm trying to do some outreach to them. So hoping we can loop everybody in. I know that's really important to you guys. So yeah.
Thank you.
Any board member updates? Okay. Then we can adjourn at 7:57.